Hey, Jason Rice here. Wanted to go live about the old new cars. You know, one of the things, John Rudswick's one of our reps. If you're not following, please do. He puts out some good content, and he gave me a screenshot of a dealer's Toyota Supra. Those things are brand new and pretty hot in the market, so they tend to probably go sticker or above. And so these new cars, you know, the Supras and the new Corvettes and things coming out, these are like sticker plus type cars. Well, the dealer evidently has a set it and forget it strategy on pricing new inventory. So they had $4,000 off of the Supra, which they might be doing. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you know, that they brought up a good point about the whole set it and forget it strategy. Here's the Supra that should be at MSRP or higher, but maybe based on the age or because it fell into another category, it just, their system said, hey, take all cars at MSRP minus 4,000 or MSRP invoice minus 4,000 and push this price out. I'll post a picture of it, but again, John Rudswick just posted a picture of it in his profile. I'll put it in the comments when I'm done with this here. But yeah, it's the whole new car strategies. There's tools out there like VAuto Conquest. We work with dealers that have that system, or your website and the back end and how you price the new cars. A lot of times you'll say, give me, the first 30 days, do MSRP, minus, and then day 31 to 60, do 200 over invoice, and then day 100 under invoice or what have you. And those strategies just don't work out because, again, you might have a car like the Supra that should be at sticker plus, or if the cars are starting to move in the market, you don't want to make an adjustment on that car. So one example, what we do, just in a nutshell, new cars, you need to price them like you do used. And we preach about flat pricing. You need to take a new car, and if invoice plus $200 above invoice, if you're going to, let's say a F-150 XL crew cab, four-wheel drive, whatever, and it could be priced at $35,000, $35,279, because that's 200 over invoice after rebates. Well, $35,279, you need to be at $35,000 even and flat price that thing. Take the $239 off, flat price it, get the 35 grand in higher shopper, 35 grand in lower shopper. So you need to take new used cars and price them that way. Once you do that, you can't let the system automatically change it for you, because now when a rebate changes, obviously the system will change it. Meaning I'm at 35,000 right now. We lose 500 in a rebate, and so my price goes to 35.5. At that point in time, I need to make a decision. Do I drop the 500 and put it back at 35, or do I leave it there? And what I'm going to make that decision, I'm going to look at my age. I'm going to look at color. I'm going to look at equipment. I'm going to look at how my F-150s are moving. I'm going to look at the supply. I'm going to look at those type of things to make that decision. But if the F-150s are actually starting to pick up in sales, I'm going to let it ride for a week or two. Then I'm going to look at F-150 performance in a week or two. And if F-150s, if my sales have been dropping off, the market has been dropping off because the rebate change and people are slowing down on buying them, then I'm going to go in there and drop the 500, go from 35.5 back down to 35. I'll eat the rebate loss to try to get traction back on that F-150. But again, let's say that the F-150s are moving well and you want to protect that price and not drop it anymore. Yes, flat pricing for new. And so Eddie, I was answering your question. And so when I'm at 35 grand even, I just changed it there. I'm at a good percentage of market, but I'm at invoice, let's just say around there. But the system says, hey, day 120, you want to be 500 under invoice. Well, then the system takes my 35 grand price and moves it down to 29.9 and 29.5. Well, I just but I don't need to drop it. The F-150s are starting to move. I know it's 120 days old, but this is the black one, and and it's hitting a good price point. I was getting good conversion, and then the system, because it's on a set it forget it, says, oh, it's 121 days old now, I'm supposed to drop it, and it kicks all that strategy out the door. So once you start realizing flat pricing, you got to take your strategy. Say, I want to be at invoice or 500 over invoice, figure out what that number is and then round it up or down to maximize flat pricing strategies and maximize exposure. Then you make adjustments based on activity, just like you do a used car. Don't let a system change your pricing when you're getting activity, when you're getting leads, or when the F-150s are moving. This is the only black one left, and it should be moving soon because the SRPs are going, and then you dang set it, forget it, drops the price on you, you lose money. So you got to start treating new like used, meaning looking at age buckets, looking at activity, looking at colors and options and features before I make a price adjustment, because the system doesn't know. It just says F-150 XLTs. Maybe you can narrow it down to trims like certain package 307As or whatever the number is and drop those, but don't drop these. But you're guesstimating on age buckets. And the only way you're guesstimating is by age, and saying you're managing an age instead of managing the car. And if you imagine the car, you probably won't have the age, if that makes sense. You should only have a 90-day supply of new cars anyways. And I've seen plenty. If you got 300 cars in stock, you should be doing at least 100 cars and managing them that way. And you shouldn't have to have these kind of aging policies, aging pricing strategies, I should say. Treat each car as its own, not as a bulk, but these set it and forget it, just treat them as a bulk. All right. So I don't know how else to make that helpful other than, if you want to kind of see that in works, let me know. I can kind of show you how that works on our end, but it's not that difficult. But it's timely because you got 100 used cars in stock and 400 new. It's just too many cars to go through, but not really. Once you go through, flat price them, and then you're watching the chunks. The other good thing, Eddie, if you're still listening, the other good thing about flat pricing new cars is, let's say F-150s. Let's say we can have an F-150 around 30 grand. Maybe it's a regular cab, 2-wheel drive or whatever. I can have a 30 grander, a 35er, a 40 grander, a 45er, a 50, a 55 grander, and maybe even a 60 grander with a platinum or something, right? So when I look at my F-150s in a set and trying to figure out what adjustments I should make, I'm going to have a car in every price bucket as people are searching online. If they do 35 to 40 grand, boom, I got a 35 or I got a 40 grander, and I got some in between. They're looking 45 to 50, boom, I got one in each and some in between. So that's the other benefit of flat pricing. You position these cars in price buckets as people are searching for them too. Because they look at autotradercars.com, TrueCar. I mean, they're going to look at these cars, the same car gurus, the algorithms and the left rail and the searching on these sites work out the same on all of them for new to use anyways. So when I search for a new car on Auto Trader versus a used car on cars.com or Auto Trader, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So the algorithms, the left rail doesn't change. And same shopping habits with customers. So treat them and price them and market them the same as you do used with your comments and your price. So hopefully this is helpful. I know a lot of guys are struggling with new. We do help new dealers out with new. If you happen to have Conquest, I mean, we go down to colors and trims and know what's sitting, what's not, and make adjustments based off of that. If we're heavy in a certain color on a model, if F-150 blacks are sitting, if F-150 XLTs are sitting, if F-150 crew cabs are sitting, we watch those trends, we know it, and then we're going to attack the F-150s and figure out which ones. I mean, imagine having a black F-150 crew cab that we know is not performing well. We're too heavy in them, and they're starting to bleed through, older than what they tend to sell for, and our pricing went up and our conversion dropped. Okay, well now I know I need to attack that car, regardless if it's 60 days old or 120 days old. That's the one I'm going after, but I'm going to leave the white because the whites are moving faster. We've already priced them aggressively, and I'm going to leave the whites alone. But yet, set it, forget it, we'll change it, and it throws everything off. So 844 Lotpop 4, inventory evaluation, lotpop.com. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.